episode 59 of the Reality Podcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on those bells for all notifications. Man, am I ready for the postseason, bro. I cannot wait for October, bro. I really can't wait. Honestly, I just really can't wait. You guys see my hat? Hold on. You guys see my hat? Postseason logo and everything. Shit looks nice and crispy with the Yankee hat on it. Let me tell you, man. I'm ready for the postseason. I'm ready for the postseason. Listen. Good luck on the Atlanta Braves in the postseason, guys. If you're an Atlanta Braves fan, good luck on you guys in the postseason. They clinched the National League East just last night. I'm recording for you guys on Saturday morning. You guys will get this in the afternoon. But there you guys go. Atlanta's in the postseason now. They clinched the National League East. The Yankees clinched the American League East, I believe, back on Thursday. They clinched the East. So congrats to the Yankees. Now, all the Yankees got to do is go for home field advantage, which I don't think they should go after home field advantage, because the winner of the wild card is going to give that top team in the American League a run of their money. That's just my prediction. So if I'm the Yankees right now, I wouldn't even go after home field. So there you guys go right there. Little bit of baseball talk for you guys right there. If you guys are interested in baseball, leave a comment down below. Who's your favorite team? Obviously, my favorite team is the 27-time World Series champion New York Yankees. So there you go. Now, I want to talk about NXT on Wednesday from Wednesday Night Show. People were telling me, oh, NXT's not the same anymore. Oh, how can you fucking smart marks love NXT? What's wrong with Raw and SmackDown? Raw and SmackDown are complete fucking garbage. And let me say this right now. On this Wednesday night war between NXT and AEW, Raw and SmackDown is going to be lost in the shuffle. Raw and SmackDown both will be lost in the shuffle. Oh, fuck Raw. Let's go to Wednesday. Fuck SmackDown on Fridays. I want NXT on Wednesday nights with AEW Dynamite on Wednesday nights on USA and TNT. It is a perfect time right now to be a wrestling fan. No cap. It really is. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Now, I have news to kick off the podcast here for episode 59. There's news on Tommaso Ciampa, and Triple H spoke about Tommaso Ciampa's expected return to NXT. After the NXT's debut on USA Network, Triple H had a teleconference after NXT debut on the USA Network, which we will go after right now. Triple H talks Tommaso Ciampa's expected WWE NXT return. Now, I'm going to read you guys the report, and after reading this report, you guys are going to guess when you guys think Tommaso Ciampa will come back. When will Tommaso Ciampa be displayed on television? Tommaso Ciampa has been out of action for over 6 months, but fans are eagerly awaiting his return, including me. It hasn't happened yet, but his time is coming very soon. While speaking on a teleconference after NXT's debut on the USA Network, Triple H discussed Tommaso Ciampa's expected return from injury. It's only a matter of time before the Sicilian psychopath makes his big return. This is what Triple H said on the teleconference after NXT's debut on the USA Network, and I quote, "He is getting very close. When you come down to the end of, unfortunately, I've been through a lot of these. When you come down to the end, there's this point in time when you are just chopping at the bit. You're ready to go. You feel like you can move the world. And yet the doctors are still like, give it a bit more, take it slow. The last couple of percent to getting to 100% is the most frustrating part of an athlete, because you feel like you can take on the world, but you can't just quite yet. He's ready. He's as close as he can get. He is the racehorse right now, stomping and pulling at the gate. When that doctor tells him to go, he's going to come flying out of there." End quote. Tommaso Ciampa's return from injury could fall perfectly in the midst of the early stages in the Wednesday night war between NXT and All Elite Wrestling. His presence could certainly capture interest in a big, big way. The important part is that World Wrestling Entertainment isn't rushing Tommaso Ciampa's return from injury at all. Nor you shouldn't. You shouldn't be rushing Ciampa to come back. You really shouldn't. Hopefully, he'll be able to make a comeback and it will be a very long time before any such hiatus is needed again due to an injury. Now I'm going to ask you guys this question, and I want you guys to really comment on this in the comment section down below. If you're Triple H right now, you're telling everybody on this teleconference that, oh, Ciampa is close to coming back. We don't know exactly when he's going to come back. But if you're Triple H, in the back of your genius mind, when do you want to put Tommaso Ciampa on TV? To at least make an appearance, not have Tommaso Ciampa get physical or have Ciampa be in a match on NXT. When would you want to bring back Ciampa to NXT TV? There's only one date that I can think about right now on my head. If I'm Triple H right now, you're telling everybody in this teleconference, oh, Ciampa, he's close. The doctor hasn't said anything yet. We don't want to rush Ciampa. That's fine. That's fine. And I can respect that. Because Ciampa, when you put him in NXT TV on the USA Network on this war against AEW, Ciampa's going to be a big, big player in NXT. He's going to be a big player. And on top of that, Ciampa is going to come back as a babyface. If you people think that Ciampa is going to come back as a heel, you're just dumb. Ciampa's going to come back as a babyface. Ciampa's going to come back as a babyface. Now, the question I want to ask you, if you're Triple H, when do you really want to put Ciampa on television? There's only one date that I can think about when to put Ciampa, and it's the absolute perfect time to put Tommaso Ciampa on TV. The date that I'm putting Tommaso Ciampa on TV, if I'm Triple H, October 2nd. When AEW goes live on TNT with their show called AEW Dynamite on October 2nd at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. October 2nd on NXT in Full Sail University, I'm having Tommaso Ciampa come back. And hell, you want to make it more dramatic? I'm going to have Tommaso Ciampa end the show. Maybe you could put him to kick off the show to draw those ratings in. Oh, Tommaso Ciampa's back. Let's tune into the USA Network. You can have him kick off NXT, or you can have him end NXT. I don't know, dude. I don't know about you guys, but October 2nd for Ciampa's comeback for his return, that's the perfect day to do so. That's the perfect day to do so. Honestly. If you people think for 1 second Triple H is telling you one thing while he knows another, he's already ahead of you before you even know it. Triple H is a fucking genius. Triple H is a fucking leader of NXT. And after watching NXT this past Wednesday, after everybody fearing that, oh, Vince is going to have a part of NXT, oh, Vince is going to kill NXT, all those fears of Vince, killing NXT, Vince putting main roster guys on NXT, done. All those worries, all those cries, all those fears have been washed away in just 2 hours of NXT on Wednesday night. Not only on the USA Network, but on the WWE Network. Triple H is going to be the leader of NXT. And the only person right now I trust is Triple H. People sit there and think, oh, NXT's not the same anymore. Oh, NXT sold out to the USA Network. What are you, fucking mental? NXT right now is the best brand, not only in all of WWE, it's the best brand in the entire fucking universe, in this whole planet. Yeah, don't get me wrong, AEW has a great roster. Don't get me wrong, but you want to compare AEW's roster to NXT's roster? It doesn't come any close to it. AEW doesn't even stand a chance against NXT's roster. I bet money, I bet the house on it. I bet the house on it. I bet the entire house on it. The NXT's roster is 100 or not 50 or not a million times better than AEW's roster. Yeah, sure, NXT needs tag teams, don't get me wrong. AEW's tag team division is magnificent. Do I say AEW's roster? Do I say AEW's tag team roster is better than NXT's tag team roster? Yeah. Yeah. You can say that. But what about the main event guys? What about the main event guys? NXT has all of that. Women, you can split between the two. It's a split middle, 50-50 about the women's division. The tag team division, obviously AEW's got that over NXT, clearly. But the main roster guys, you gotta go. You have to go with NXT there, folks. You really gotta go with NXT. So if I'm Triple H at this point, you want to tell everybody, oh, Ciampa's not ready yet. He's close to getting there. Oh, the freaking doctors haven't cleared him yet, so I can't rush him. Nor do you want to rush Tommaso Ciampa. While Triple H already, listen, as of right now, as of this recording, Triple H probably already has his return date set up already. He probably does. And if I was to bring back Tommaso Ciampa back to NXT, it's October 2nd. Isn't it a coincidence that Shayna Baszler and Candice LeRae is fighting for the NXT Women's Championship on the same night that the AEW Women's Championship match is being determined between Nyla Rose and Riho? It's in effect, folks. It's war. But who is winning this war at the end of the day? Not AEW, not NXT, the fans. Us, me, you. At the end of the day, we're all winning in this. Because we get to see the best of two separate identity brands. NXT and AEW. All we want is change. Fuck Raw, fuck SmackDown Live, although that they're having changes of their own with this draft and shit, having identities on these brands. Yeah, I don't mind it. But at this point, you gotta ask yourself, is it too late? It really is. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind the change. I don't mind the draft that's happening on October 11th and October 14th for Friday Night SmackDown and Raw. I don't mind it. But at the same time, who's going to care at the end of the day? Are you going to care about a draft? No. What are you going to be looking forward to most? NXT and AEW from 8 to 10 p.m. on Wednesday nights. It's going to be a good time to be a wrestling fan. It's going to be a really good time to be a wrestling fan. It's going to be a really good time to be a wrestling fan. But I wanted to kick off the podcast here with Tommaso Ciampa's return to NXT, or to what Triple H said and stuff like that. But I have some news on why Kofi Kingston and Brock Lesnar's match at Smackdown on Fox was confirmed and stuff like that. Why is that happening? Amongst other news that I have right here on episode 59 of the Reality Podcast. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm your boy Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel on this Saturday, September 21st, 2019. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. Now, I apologize for not giving you guys the podcast on Friday. I wanted to have a day off and shit because the baseball season is about to end. I'm about to play softball next Saturday. So as a matter of fact, I'm speaking of the softball game for next Saturday. You might not even have a podcast next Saturday. I'm probably just gonna give you guys episodes of the podcast Friday and Sunday. Saturday I have that off. Saturday I have the softball game next Saturday, which is the 28th. So a little heads up right now. No podcast next Saturday on the 28th. Next Saturday. No podcast at all next Saturday. But with that being said, if you guys are excited for this Wednesday night war between NXT and AEW, smash that like button. Leave a comment down below what you guys are thinking so far of this AEW war. Where would you book Tommaso Ciampa to come back? And also, are you excited for AEW's Dynamite show on Wednesday, October 2nd on TNT? Also, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to show your support by hitting that subscribe button down below. Turn on those balls, guys, for notifications as we are on the road to 200 subscribers right here on the channel. NXT review live on the channel right now. Adam Cole's prophecy is officially complete, and that, folks, is undisputed. NXT was a great show back on Wednesday night. It was a great show. Although there was a little bit of negative, just a tad bit of negative, NXT overall was a fantastic show, and it looked really, really good on the USA Network. Link to NXT review will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Check out Smackdown live review from this past Tuesday. Brock Lesnar versus Kofi Kingston, WWE title match set for Fox. And I have news on why this match is being confirmed for SmackDown on Fox, and it doesn't even take a brainchild or a rocket scientist to figure that one out, folks. Link to SmackDown review will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Check out Monday Night Raw review from this past Monday. Raw was fucking god-awful this past Monday. Yeah, people said that Raw was a really good show this past Monday. If you rated this show an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, you're a fucking joke. You're a fucking joke. You're a casual dumb fuck. Raw reviews live on the channel right now. Wyatt versus Rollins has been confirmed for Hell in a Cell, plus The Fiend attacks Kane. I will give you guys my topic on that on tomorrow's episode of the Reality Podcast, on episode number 60. I will give you guys my opinion on why Wyatt attacked Kane. It will possibly lead to Wyatt versus Taker at Survivor Series. You got to go back to that 11-19 thing on Raw last week. Link to Raw review will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Check out Classic Champions review from this past Sunday as well. Yeah, Classic Champions was a not bad show, to be honest with you. There was some matches that was good, but you guys know my fucking rant on this shit. Link to Classic Champions review will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you're following your boy Chris on social media. Twitter, Chris from Loring, and Snapchat, Chris was hated. And like I said, folks, if you guys are enjoying the content, be sure to show your support by hitting that subscribe button down below and turn on those bells, guys, for notifications. Let's begin episode number 59 of the Reality Podcast right here on the channel. We're going to begin episode 59 of the Reality Podcast with this piece of information about Luke Harper. Luke Harper's current WWE contract status after his return at Clash of Champions. So let's see what happens here. Luke Harper's return to WWE TV during Clash of Champions was the biggest surprise of the night for some fans, including me. I was really surprised about his return on Sunday night. That doesn't mean he will be around for much longer. Harper tried to get his release months ago, but it was declined. Then 6 months was added to his contract because of time he missed due to an injury. Excuse me. That is still something he needs to work off of his contract. The Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that although Harper is involved in one of the WWE's biggest storylines, not big anymore, he has yet to re-sign a new contract with the company. His contract was set to be up in a few months, quote unquote, but you also need to add around 6 months to that few months. We'll have to see what happens down the line with Harper, but he still has a bit of time left in his contract to decide what he wants to do. There was a time period where you wasn't using Luke Harper. Why would you add 6 months to his contract when, if you're not going to use him, let him go? Same thing with what happened to Goldust. Triple H even told Vince, oh, are we going to use Goldust? If not, let him go. And look where Goldust ended up being at, All Elite Wrestling. Why is Luke Harper? Why? And I got to sit here and be honest with you. If you brought back Luke Harper for Clash of Champions, why did you not re-sign him? Why didn't you at least re-sign him? Maybe Harper wants out of his contract. Maybe if he was given an extra 6 months of his contract, he's going to finish out that contract and then he's going to go. You think for a second Harper's going to stay with the company after he asked for his release and you didn't give it to him? No. You gave him 6 months to his contract. He's going to finish out that 6 months and from there he's gone. You can't tell him what to do after 6 months. You can't. So, although Luke Harper's surprise at Clash of Champions really did give me a surprise. It really did. It really surprised me because, they could have went with any other superstar but Luke Harper out of all people. And look what happened on Smackdown this past Tuesday with him and Roman's attack on Roman and Bryan. It was good shit. It was really good shit. Really fantastic stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was nice to see. But do I think Luke Harper is gonna stay much longer with the company? No, I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna stay that much longer with the company. I really don't. I think Harper is gonna stay with the 6 months of his contract, and then from there he's gone. Then he's gone. He'll probably give Cody a phone call. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? Listen, don't get me wrong. I like Luke Harper. Don't get me wrong. But do you really need Luke Harper at this point? No. You really don't. Or unless send him back to NXT, as a matter of fact. After 6 months, if Vince is not going to use him, at least send him back to NXT. At least. Because what's going to happen after the storyline's over with Rowan and Daniel Bryan? Rowan is going to be an afterthought. He's going to be a complete afterthought. You might as well send Harper and Rowan back to NXT. You might as well, because they need tag teams down there in NXT. They need tag teams. You might as well put Luke Harper and Eric Rowan back to the NXT because they need tag teams. If Vince is not going to use them, Triple H will in some way, shape, or form. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Triple H. Let's do some Triple H here. Triple H on how long they worked on Lio Rush's WWE return. Now, this is what I got to hear. This is what I got to read. Lio Rush made a big return to the ring during NXT debut on the USA Network. Actually, it took place during the second hour when a ton of fans couldn't watch it on the WWE Network. Many people were telling me that they were having issues even logging in on the network. But he's still the number one contender for the Cruiserweight title. After NXT was off the air, Triple H was asked about Lio Rush's return during a teleconference. The game admitted that they've been working on Rush's return for a while, and NXT's big September 18th show was the perfect opportunity. This is what Triple H said, and I quote, "No, it was something we've been talking about for a while. I'm just really excited. Lio Rush won. He's just a phenomenal, energetic, and money performer to me. Thrilled that we get to push him on the show and have him showcase what he does. He and Oni tore it up, and that's what it's about," end quote. Seeing Lio Rush return in this fashion was a great sign for his status in WWE. He is now the first in line to get a shot at Drew Gulak's Cruiserweight title. It just goes to show that you can never count anyone out in WWE. You guys remember how Lio Rush was with Bobby Lashley as Lio Rush's protege, stuff like that? I really hated Lio Rush when he was in fucking with Bobby Lashley, managing Bobby Lashley. Now, in the beginning, it sounds really, really good in the beginning. Now, people give this a shot. I gave it a shot. I gave it 2 weeks. I gave it 2 weeks before this would fuck up, and guess what? The next week, they fucked everything up with fucking Lio Rush and fucking Bobby Lashley. There was a point in time where wherever Lio Rush came out and said, Lashley, I just mute the fucking television set. Because he's so fucking god-awful on what he's saying. People were telling me, that Lio Rush is a great performer. I bet he is. And after watching him on NXT on Wednesday, I believe you. He's really great in the ring. He showcased on what he could do. He's in a better place now in NXT. That's all we wanted to see about fucking thing. About Lio Rush. I want to see him in the ring. We never got to see him in the ring in the main roster. I mean, we did at some point, but those matches were fucking horrible. Those matches were horrible. Now look at Lio Rush. Listen, Lio Rush on one night in NXT made him into a better superstar than his entire tenure on the main roster. It's fact. It's complete fucking facts. Nothing but fucking facts. And you can't sit there and argue with me on that one. You just really can't. After watching Lio Rush on Wednesday, now he's got my attention now. He's got my attention. WWE reportedly has no hard date for WrestleMania 36 ticket sales. This is a shocker. I mean, at the same time, nothing in this company shocks me at all. Nothing in this company shocks me at all. And I'm already used to it. I'm at a point where I'm already used to it. Nothing in this company shocks me anymore, unless if it's NXT. WrestleMania 36 will take place on April 5th, 2020, but some fans can't wait to get their hands on tickets. World Entertainment hasn't announced when WrestleMania tickets will be on sale yet, but Brad Shepard reports that fans are safe by betting on November 21st. As of right now, there is no hard date yet. This is what Brad Shepard said, and I quote, "I was asked when WrestleMania tickets may go on sale this year. According to a source in WWE, there's no hard date yet, but I'm told November 21st is a pretty safe bet." End quote. WrestleMania will likely sell out because it usually does every year. No, it didn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That won't stop WWE from inflating their attendance numbers regardless. See, there you go. We don't blame people for wanting to get on tickets as quickly as possible. Now, I've been to 3 WrestleManias. I've been to 3. I've been to WrestleMania 20 in the Garden. I went to 28 in Miami, Florida. And I went to 29 at MetLife Stadium. That was the weekend that my cousin had passed away that Tuesday. On the Raw after WrestleMania, I was at the Izod Center, and I found out that Tuesday morning that my cousin had passed away that Tuesday morning. But WrestleMania doesn't really sell out. If you were to sit there and ask me, "Oh, Chris, does WrestleMania sell out?" No. I mean, you just have the report say it. Let me look for it. That won't stop WWE from inflating their attendance numbers regardless. Now, they obviously inflate their numbers. They really, really do. I remember that one time, I think it was WrestleMania 32, if I'm not mistaken, that WrestleMania 32 had, I believe, like 102,000. I was hearing it had about like close to 95,000 people being sold out. Like, not really sold out, but I'm hearing that I heard back at WrestleMania 32, back at AT&T Stadium where the Cowboys play, they was going to break the all-time attendance record. They said it was like 102, 107,000. From what I was told back then, it was about 90 to 95,000 in that stadium at that time. So don't be surprised if they fucking infiltrate the numbers again, because knowing this company, they'll probably do that. Knowing this company, that's something that they will do. Now, speaking of tickets, not only WrestleMania 36 tickets are not going on sale yet, Hell in a Cell tickets are selling terribly. Imagine putting The Fiend versus Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell and you're not selling the fucking show. Something's wrong here. Something's goddamn wrong here. World Entertainment will be holding a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view with only 3 weeks to push for the event on October 6th. This might not be the best news for their ticket sales. The Golden One Center in Sacramento, California will host the 2018 Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, but tickets are moving very slowly. Perhaps that is why they revealed that Bray Wyatt's Fiend will be wrestling the Universal Champion at the event. The Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that World Wrestling Entertainment is only selling 6 of the 22 available upper deck areas in the arena. This is being done to encourage fans to purchase tickets at a lower level, preferably within the camera's vision. It's also being reported that there are 721 secondary market tickets out with an entry price of $43. The company isn't even selling the 3 lower sections on the hard camera side to make an illusion that every seat is taken when you see it at home. This is certainly a bit troubling considering how historically hot for pro wrestling that market has been in the past. So, let me get this straight. You booked Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, versus Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship inside Hell in a Cell, and the show's not even sold out yet? I guarantee you, and I see this company clearly doing this. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring another big name, like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, like an Undertaker, like a Shawn Michaels, like a Triple H, to go to the show just for the tickets to be sold. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't really be surprised at this juncture. Hell, I'll even do you one further. Don't be surprised if they announce that the Undertaker's gonna be at that show, and then we go to the show when Wyatt wins the Universal Championship, the lights go out, Taker comes out, as if how the fuck he got in the fucking cell, and then him and Wyatt go face to face basically confirming the matchup for Survivor Series. I wouldn't be surprised if that even happens. I really wouldn't. But the fact that Hell in a Cell tickets are not selling good and you have The Fiend, your hottest character, your hottest superstar on that show, and you're not selling tickets, something has got to be done here within the next couple of weeks. Because Hell in a Cell is arriving quick. Quicker than you can fucking breathe, bro. Quicker than you can fucking breathe. Let me go find this Brock Lesnar story real quick on why Lesnar and Kofi was announced for this particular show on Smackdown on Fox. Now, I'm hearing... Well, I did find out on Tuesday that I did watch SmackDown on... I didn't watch SmackDown on Tuesday, but I did find out that Brock and Kofi are going to compete on SmackDown on Fox for the WWE Championship. And I have this story right here. Why WWE? And this is the major story here on the podcast. Why WWE booked Kofi Kingston versus Brock Lesnar for SmackDown Fox debut. Now, before we do this report, I want you guys to think about the storyline that's going to be coming ahead to you pretty soon. October 4th. Unfortunately, I cannot watch that show nor review that show because I have to work game 1 of the Division Series at Yankee Stadium on October 4th. So I can't watch that show. But of course, I will have it on DVR and I'll give you guys the review on most likely Saturday or Sunday. I'll probably give it to you guys on Tuesday, low-key. I'll probably give you guys the review on that Tuesday. I have no idea. I have to think about my upload schedule for my podcast and shit. I have to think about that as well. But Fox's debut show will be on October 4th. World Entertainment has a lot of plans for their move to Fox, and they aren't pulling any punches when debuting on the new network either. Brock Lesnar really shocked a lot of people when he showed up to challenge Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. This confrontation will go down on October 4th as SmackDown debuts on Fox, but WWE has their reasons. I want you guys to even guess what's that reason why. The Wrestling Observer News reports that World Entertainment wants to give Fox a legit sports feel. This makes all the sense in the world that they would place the title on Lesnar during their Fox premiere. Not only they're doing this, folks, for ratings, they're doing it because Brock Lesnar is a big name. And on top of that, who wants SmackDown Live at this point is going to take the championship from Kofi Kingston. I said this on SummerSlam Review, and I said this on Classic Champions Review. You should have put the championship on Randy Orton. Orton is a notable name. You should have put the championship on Orton at SummerSlam. No, but you didn't want to do that. Now, he has a match at Classic Champions. You didn't want to give him the championship then. I said this on the podcast, I said this on SmackDown Review, and I said this all the time on Twitter. Kofi Kingston is not my WWE champion. You did what you did at WrestleMania. It was a fucking moment. It was a fucking moment. Many people, including myself, was thinking that Kofi Kingston's title reign was not going to last until Money in the Bank, if not SummerSlam. Kofi Kingston has held the title since April. May, June, July, August, September, October. This is 6 months too long. This is 3 months too long. 3 months too long. It was good when you did it at WrestleMania. It was a fucking moment at WrestleMania. Now people are calling my friends, and I've heard that people were calling Arnold a racist because they don't want Kofi as champion anymore. You're a fucking joke. All right? You're a fucking joke. You're a fucking casual idiot if you think that us people don't want Kingston as champion because he's throwing fucking pancakes. You're a fucking sick individual. People do not want Kofi as champion anymore. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's kind of killing SmackDown Live to some capacity. It really is. It's killing SmackDown Live to some capacity. It really is. It really is. Why do you have Kofi Kingston in a serious ass fucking segment, in a serious ass match, and you still have Kofi Kingston fucking throwing pancakes and gyrating around the fucking ring? That's not my champion. That's not my champion. And coincidence here, SmackDown Live on October 4th is in the Staples Center in Los Angeles. When was the last time Brock Lesnar competed for a championship in the Staples Center? He beat the living shit out of John Cena at SummerSlam 2014. He beat the living shit out of John Cena in the most one-sided championship match in WWE history. You thought that Brock's beating on Taker at 30 was bad? It was worse against John Cena at SummerSlam. Worse. 100 times worse. Expect Kofi Kingston to go through that exact same treatment on October 4th. Oh, and will it be a new day? Oh, yes it is. Oh, yes it is. It was also reported that Fox will get Lesnar since there is no Rousey right now because Ronda Rousey is still on a hiatus from the company. Anytime you have Brock Lesnar around, there's always a chance that Paul Heyman could pull for a swerve since he already loves booking unexpected moments. We'll have to see who is WWE Champion following October 4th episode of SmackDown Live, but the two are booked to have a face-to-face once again in Philadelphia on November the 15th. October 4th is the perfect time to have Kofi lose the championship to Brock Lesnar. The absolute perfect time. And on top of that, you got to think about Survivor Series. If you're Vince McMahon, you got to think about what champions are you going to want to have going in the Survivor Series. Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series? Count me in. Count me in. At this point, they shouldn't even do the Raw versus SmackDown because we've seen it on the wild card rule every single week. Just give me Wyatt and Taker at Survivor Series. With Wyatt retiring Taker at Survivor Series. October 4th has to be the night that Kofi Kingston drops the championship to Brock Lesnar. No fucking question. Now, you're going to sit there and ask me, Chris, you're booking Brock to win the championship. Who takes the title from Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? I want you to think real hard on this. Brock Lesnar is going to win, and I don't give a fuck who says no to this. Brock Lesnar is going to win the WWE Championship on October 4th. Against a smaller guy like Kofi Kingston, Brock is going to deliver a match that will make Kofi Kingston believable as a champion. October 4th, just know, October 4th will be Kofi Kingston's greatest match of his entire 11-year career. And it's going to be against who? Brock Lesnar. You look at Brock Lesnar performing against smaller guys than him, like a Daniel Bryan, and AJ Styles, a Finn Balor, a Seth Rollins. All those matches were classics. The match that Brock and Balor gave us at the Rumble for that 8 minutes, it was a great matchup. The match that Brock had against Daniel Bryan at Survivor Series last year was a great match. The match that he had against Rollins at SummerSlam and WrestleMania, great matchups. Him against AJ Styles 2 years ago at Survivor Series, great matches. A great matchup. Brock, listen, you put Brock Lesnar against a smaller guy, he will sell his ass off and make that match very fucking believable. I don't know why people still hate on Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I may hate Brock Lesnar, but you got to give Brock credit where credit is due. You put Brock Lesnar against a smaller guy, he's going to work and he's going to sell his ass off. Now, I know people are telling me, oh, you're giving Brock the championship. Who is going to take the championship off of Brock Lesnar? I want you guys to think really hard on this. I want you guys to really think hard on this. Who do you think is going to take the championship from Brock Lesnar? Remember what I said on SmackDown Review this past Tuesday? That Vince is itching and itching and itching to put Roman Reigns in a world title picture. The reason why Roman Reigns is in this storyline, in this Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. situation of a fucking storyline, is to get him away from the WWE Championship. Once this storyline's done, I guarantee you this storyline will last to the end of the year. And then when it's the right time to have Roman Reigns win, Roman's going to win the Rumble. There's no question. Roman is going to either win the Rumble or Roman's going to win the number one contenders Elimination Chamber. Roman is going to be the guy to take the championship off of Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 36 in Tampa. And let me remind you where WrestleMania is going to be at. WrestleMania is going to be in Roman Reigns' home state of fucking Florida. Roman is from Pensacola, Florida. WrestleMania 36 next year will be in Tampa, Florida. That's Roman's home state. And on top of that, you want to tell this Roman Reigns coming back from cancer and him making a comeback, him winning the Rumble and going to WrestleMania to win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. So if you was to ask me, Chris, who's the guy that's going to take the championship from Brock Lesnar? Roman Reigns. We see that at SummerSlam, how garbage that was. It's going to be a great moment at WrestleMania. And I can't believe I said Roman Reigns and great in the same sentence, but I'm already used to it. Roman Reigns' championship win at WrestleMania will be a great moment. It will be a great moment when Roman Reigns beats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania and wins the WWE title. You know Vince is going to tell that story. Vince is going to tell that story. One way or the other. Vince is going to tell that story. Vince is going to tell that story. Whew. Let me tell you, man, this podcast not easy, bro. Podcast game is not easy. I want to find the ratings for NXT. If I can find the ratings. If I can find the ratings for NXT, I will let you guys know right here. But let me see if I can find the ratings. Because there's a report on the ratings. We will go over the bracket of the AEW World Tag Team Title Tournament tomorrow on episode 60 of the Reality Podcast. We're going to go over all that tomorrow on episode 60. And on top of that, we're going to go over the Kenny Omega news. Kenny Omega unloads on NXT. Kenny Omega says they're developmental while AEW has real stars. We're going to go over that tomorrow on episode number 60 of the Reality Podcast. I want to end the podcast here because I want to save the remaining news that I have for tomorrow. I want to save it for tomorrow. I'm going to end the podcast here with this information here. Ratings for NXT's USA Network debut are in. NXT debut on the USA Network on Wednesday, and now the numbers are in. There are also something to be very happy about for WWE. The debut episode of NXT on the USA Network brought in 1.179 million followers. 1,179,000 viewers from 8 to 9. This is a very respectable number. We will not see how they do for 4 hours on October 2nd, but NXT will also have some stiff competition with AEW starting as well. We'll just have to wait and see what kind of ratings AEW will be able to pull during the October 2nd debut on TNT. As Triple H would say, follow that, my friends. I said this, and I'm going to end the podcast on that note there. I'm going to end the podcast there. I said this on the podcast just many weeks ago, or should I say many months ago. When AEW announced that they had the television deal and when they're going to have the TV show on what date and on what day, I said, and I'm still going to stick true to my guns here, AEW, both AEW, and now obviously NXT not being on the US, staying over for 2 hours, both NXT on USA and AEW on TNT will struggle once the postseason starts for Major League Baseball. Once the postseason starts for Major League Baseball. Now, AEW can still draw like a 2 rating. NXT can draw like another 2 rating and stuff like that. between now and October 2nd, I think NXT will grow. Obviously, when it comes to the numbers, I think they'll grow, which is a good sign. They drew over 1 million viewers on that 8 to 9 portion of their show on the USA Network. Really great number. That's a fantastic number. Over 1 million. Over 1 million. Remember back at that halftime heat show where they had, I think it was Gargano, Ciampa, and Cole against Ricochet, Black, and Velveteen Dream. They had almost 1 million viewers. They drew around like 800K, close to fucking 900K on halftime of the Super Bowl, where the whole world is watching the biggest game of the year. And you had them watch NXT. They had about a good 800, 900K. That's great. For that good 15, 20-minute matchup that they had, they drew about almost 1 million viewers, which is really, really good. Which is really, really good. I can imagine how NXT goes on a full 2-hour basis, where they draw over like a 2 rating, maybe a 2.5. I may push it to a 3. I may push it. If I'm pushing it, let me know. But I think after the postseason for baseball is over, I think NXT and AEW will go right back up to ratings and shit. Because you already know that first month of October, on especially October 1st, I think it's the National League Wild Card, which is that Tuesday. And then Wednesday, October 2nd, is the American League Wild Card game. Now, people are going to want to watch that American League Wild Card game. People are going to want to watch AEW Dynamite. People are going to watch NXT on the USA Network. It's going to split into 3 shows, into 3 types of fucking channels. TNT, USA, and I believe TBS. I think TBS is covering the American League Wild Card game. If I'm not mistaken, I think the American League is covering I think TBS or ESPN is covering the American League Wild Card game. I think they are. I really think they are. But if anybody knows what channel the American League Wild Card game is posting live that day on October 2nd, leave it in the comment section, or at least tweet at me on Twitter. But AEW and NXT is going to be really good. It's just that first month, they're really going to struggle that first month. If they don't really reach that, now let's say, we're in October and it's the postseason, and then we have AEW and NXT live at the same time. You think that they'll have over a 2 million rating? No, because of the postseason. Because of the postseason, bro. Because of the postseason. Because of the postseason. I think they'll struggle in that first month. That first Wednesday, I think they'll struggle. And then we go on to the wild card, then the division series, and the championship series, and the World Series. By the time it's November, things will get back to normal by then. And that's what I really truly think on that. But I think NXT and AEW will do really fine. It's just that the real winners of this Wednesday Night War is going to be the wrestling fan. And I think everybody else will win on that war as well. All the wrestling fans that watch NXT, all the diehards in AEW, all the NXT diehards, we're all winning at the end of the day. And we can appreciate people that are giving us change and giving us real wrestling. People that we can be invested in. That's what we want. That's what we want. As a wrestling fan of over 20 years, this is good. This is great. And I can't wait for October 2nd. I really can't wait. I really can't wait. And that, folks, is the reality of things right here on episode 59 of the Reality Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought of the podcast so far. Also, if you're a baseball fan, leave a comment down below. What is your favorite baseball team, favorite basketball team, favorite football team, hockey team? I'm a fucking Ranger guy. Baseball, clearly Yankees. Basketball, I'm a Knicks fan. I know I fucking piss most of you guys here. I'm not none of these fucking Warrior bandwagons. No, I'm not. Football, I'm a Patriot fan, and hockey, I'm a Ranger fan. I love my Rangers. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to show your support by hitting that subscribe button down below. Turn on those guys for notifications as we're on the road to 200 subs right here on the channel. NXT review live on the channel right now, as well as Smackdown live review, Monday Night Raw review, and also Clash of Champions review live on the channel. Now, all these videos will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you are following your boy Chris on social media. Twitter, Chris from Loring. Snapchat, Chris Most Hated. And like I said, folks, if you guys are enjoying the content, be sure to show your support by hitting that subscribe button down below and turn on both guys for notifications. I will see you guys tomorrow for episode number 60, where we go with the news on Kenny Omega. He unloads the NXT. Kenny Omega calls NXT the developmental brand, and AEW are the real stars. Plus all the other news. And on top of that, we are going to go over the AEW World Tag Team Championship bracket. I'm going to give you guys my prediction on who wins the tournament. So from there, we'll go from there. Also, I'm Chris. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video all over social media. I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode number 60 of the Reality Podcast. Till then, I'm Chris. Talk to you guys later.